The campaign for the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut will be the most brutal fight in the country's ongoing battle against the invading Russian army. Frontline photos posted this week by the Ukrainian government and others reveal soldiers hunkered down in a bleak, scorched landscape reminiscent of the World War I killing fields seen across Europe when the former city of 70,000 was reduced to rubble under the barrage of Russian artillery. As winter approaches Eastern Europe, Ukrainian troops have made their home in muddy trenches carved into the barren terrain of bare and broken trees. Videos of the city show devastated communities, streets filled with mud and rubble against a backdrop of burning buildings and broken windows. And in the trenches themselves, soldiers remain in cramped and deplorable conditions, with photographs from the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense depicting infantrymen slogging their way through inches of water in increasingly hostile weather conditions. The battle for Bakhmut remained a game of meter, if not inches, with both sides unable to move against the almost certain risk of death due to lack of cover. The few remaining residents have died in recent days, while more than a dozen others have been injured. And both sides have taken hundreds of casualties. The total is hard to verify, between open trench warfare and heavy urban fighting that have defined the battle for months. It looks a lot like what happened in World War I, a senior Pentagon official told reporters earlier this week. So you have two sides facing each other and they're trying to, hit each other with artillery, use artillery to give them a chance to move people forward. But once they get there, other parties try to do the same, the official added. Russian forces have started to gain some gains in recent weeks after months of consistent attacks on the Ukrainian front in Bakhmut. The Russian military has continued to send reinforcements in its bid to take the city after a series of military defeats in contested areas such as Kherson, which was liberated by Ukrainian forces earlier this month. However, some speculate that the Russians exaggerated their progress in taking the city out of a desire to regain calm amid widespread reports of weakening morale among frontline troops. Bakhmut itself has little strategic value beyond its function as a highway and rail hub, news reports say, with Jato News citing in a recent report that a rejuvenated effort by the Wagner Group, a Russian mercenary group that includes pardoned criminals and others among its ranks. Nothing more than wasted effort. The report said the recent fighting was more about Wagner's prestige in Kremlin inner circles than any combined military thinking. All the other towns and cities in the Donetsk region are too far from Russian lines, and the conquest of Bakhmut would signal at least some progress for the Russians in the Donetsk region. Hussein Aliyev, a researcher and lecturer at the University of Glasgow, told Jato News earlier this week.